I had tried hard, but I had to try something different. Okay. And as I said, now it's stuck. Now you're in trouble. Try different, Ingrid.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Me and my props. I got this idea, and I finished college, and then went on to graduate school. And this idea of somehow using a treatment for phobia, but transforming it to a treatment for drug addiction stayed with me as I was going through college. Now, the reason why drug treatment doesn't work very well for cocaine addicts is because all drugs are different. Cocaine addiction is different than alcoholism, and alcoholism is different than pill addiction. And one of the main ways that cocaine addiction is different is that those cues or triggers are highly charged for a cocaine addict. Okay. Do you understand what I mean by something that's
To be honest,
associated?
no.
Okay.
Highly charged.
Yeah. Okay. Let me give you an example. Have you heard of an American sandwich that's made with peanut butter and
Jelly.
I'm glad you knew that because I know you weren't brought up in the States. Yes. Most people would say peanut butter and jelly because they've associated peanut butter with jelly. Right. Now, if I showed you an actual sandwich with peanut butter and jelly, now you're getting even more conditioned.
Yes, I like peanut butter and jelly.
Well, would you like to taste one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not really.
No, I will give it to the cameraman. He looks hungry. Okay.
So
if the cameraman tasted it, now he'd have an even stronger association between peanut butter and jelly. Well, with cocaine addiction, the associations are 100 to 200 times stronger. Why? Because cocaine is a stimulant. And when a cocaine addict comes in contact with all these other things like money and people and places and things, of course in recovery they say avoid people, places and things. But a cocaine addict has so many conditioned responses that he literally cannot avoid all the people, places and things, and he's highly susceptible to relapse.
I think we should take a little break now.
You can't put a price on true love, but in the end, every little girl has a dream. And though over time the details may change, one thing still remains the same. The feeling she gets walking down that aisle. Come experience your dream at Gurney's Inn in Montauk.
The American Dream Show at Gurney's Inn overlooking this amazing ocean. Spero Alexio, a psychotherapist and researchers in the field of addictive illness, drug addiction, is introducing the Q therapy, and we have just 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes, and we really want to come to the to understand now what we would have to do, how it works, and how to reach you.
Okay. Well, I'm right next to you. You just reach out and touch me. But one of the problems with drug treatment is that everyone gets treated with pretty much the same treatment. It's just the one-size-fits-all approach. You're a cocaine addict or a meth addict or alcoholic. Let's give them the ABC treatment, and hopefully it'll work, and then we can send them home. And
unfortunately, the relapse rate is incredibly high.
The relapse rate is high, and probably the reason it's so high is that we don't do drug-specific treatment. We do this generalist approach. Now, when AA first started, that was a drug-specific treatment. That was only for alcoholics, right? And I started studying cues, and there's a tremendous difference between the science behind drug treatment today and like in the 1980s. Like in the 1980s, they were trying to understand or impress upon people you shouldn't use drugs, right? So this is what we got in the 1980s. We got a wonderful advertisement, and they showed this at late night at 2 in the morning. Of course,
I remember that.
this is your brain on drugs. It was a wonderful commercial, but it really didn't stop drug use. And it was parodied many times. So, but this was the idea: scare them, scare tactic, right? This is your brain on drugs,
Yes.
right? Okay.
I remember that well.
Now, in 2013, we actually know what your brain looks like on drugs.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
And this is 2 brains of a cocaine addict. This one is looking at a nature video. And this one here is looking at the cues related to cocaine. That might be money or cocaine, picture of cocaine. And we see that the brain here, the amygdala, which is in the emotional seat, is activated. So we need something to address this. We need to somehow turn off that primitive brain and go back to the reasoning brain, which is in the front. So then you can make a decision, right, not to use. So what Q therapy does is it says, when you're in a highly urging state and your primitive brain is lighting up like a light bulb, we want you to, instead of trying to think your way through, like, oh, I better not do this, I'll lose my job, we want you to meditate your way through. So it's a physiological treatment for a physiological reaction that happens in your body. You know, I wonder, I can actually do this treatment right in front of you right now. Do you think you'd like to see that? Okay. What I want you to do is to count down from 5.
Okay.
And I will immediately go into a meditation. Ready?
You will go into a meditation.
Yeah, not you.
Okay. Well, that's good because I still have to be present. So
Yeah.
I'm counting to 5.
5, 4, 3.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And how long do you stay like that?
I should have told you, I'll be on there for 10 or 15 seconds.
Okay.
Did you notice how my voice changed when I came back? It slowed down because I went immediately into a forest with running water, with birds chirping. I could smell the pine from the pine needles. And the reason you need an immediate meditation is because a person who's urging is in a highly agitated state. And they can't meditate. They need to instantly meditate. And that's what Q therapy does. And it takes a little while, and it's not easy to do, but it involves meditation, guided meditation, hypnosis, relapse prevention. Of course, I use some of Terry Gorski's methods of relapse prevention. He was someone who's very instrumental in my research work. And the other thing I do is I really get to know the person who I'm treating. I treat them as a person first, and as someone with addictive behavior second, because everybody wants to be treated as a person, not as a label, right? I've had incredible success with this treatment. Now, it's not a treatment program. Q therapy is a powerful tool to take the power away from urges.
Urges of any kind or of drugs in general?
Well, I use it for drugs in particular, for cocaine addiction. That's what it was developed for. However, I'm starting to see that I can use it for internet porn addiction, which is a big problem. Why?
Really?
Yes, that involves a stimulation. I won't go into detail. But again, it requires a calming of your body. And interestingly enough, in the next few months, we're going to start applying it to gambling. and I live in Las Vegas. I should have a few clients there.
I
do
bet,
that.
yes.
So, but it's a treatment that's designed for a specific drug. It's highly personalized, right? And it's science-based.
And it does not involve medication.
Glad you asked that. There are some side effects. There's a dramatic increase in hope. That's
Really?
one of them. There's also, people start to get interested in going back to 12-step meetings because they now feel like, well, that thing that kept me relapsing, maybe I can go back. And so it helps bring people back to the traditional treatment. I'm non-traditional, but AA is a program that's helped a lot of people. My clients struggle in AA. So it gives people hope. It gives people real hope, not, oh, I know you're going to do it this time, Johnny. Just try harder. We saw how that didn't work. Right. Q therapy is a wonderful holistic treatment, and it's my reason for being in the field.
Boy. Interesting subject. Spero Alexio, your website is very interesting. Q therapy with a Q.
Q, then the word therapy.
And then dot co.
Co, not .com,
Exactly.
.co.
Now, honestly, I didn't know that there is such a URL as .co. I always thought they all are .com. No, Q therapy is indeed qtherapy.co, and it does work. Now, it is very nicely explained on your website.
Yes.
How it works, and so for those who maybe missed the first or second part, just go on Spero's website. Psychotherapy is very complex. We obviously discussed today a subject that is rather interesting. We have time for one question out of the audience. If there's anybody who would like to ask something, guys, we would love you to please work with us.
Did you hit bottom?
Yeah. How about the lady in the back there?
Yes, I see that you use very simple visuals. Do you use that in your therapy?
I use a lot of analogies, stories. I also tend to use humor, which is something you have to be very careful with, just because I tend to be a funny guy. That's the best way I can describe it. I want to give them something they haven't gotten before. And so I'll also look at who they are and adjust my treatment to them instead of trying to adjust them to the treatment.
That was very well said. You should make that part of your book as well. So we found today on the show a title for your book. Remember the title?
The Riddle of My Relapse.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Now that was a wonderful phrase indicated by the lady over here in the audience. Okay, guys, we have 2 minutes left until we have to say goodbye one more time. Q with a Q. qtherapy.co, not .com. I am delighted to have you here in Montauk today, Spero. I'm conversing with Spero Alexio since years over the internet, and not in regards to these specific therapies, just as a friend, but I became very interested when Spero was saying, look, there are people out there where conventional step programs are faulting, and they do need help as well. How do we do this, right?
Yes, and by the way, thank you for helping me get off Diet Coke. That was a big deal for me. That was from you. And you know, I have a gift for you.
Yeah, I got him off Diet Coke by just explaining to him how bad that is.
I want to give you this fried egg.
Okay.
So you remember me? I can autograph the yolk if you want.
Yeah, I would love that.
Okay, that's for you.
Thank you everybody for watching.
I found a new life in America, the land of opportunity.